Coming to you from that once-forgotten artery that pulses through the center of the continental United States and into the heart of the Ozarks, Grace Matthews. Looking in from the northern border, our Canadian friend, along with his countrymen feeling the effects of U.S. political issues, Connor Murphy.
Welcome to Dueling Dialogues, Episode 207. I'm Connor Murphy with Grace Matthews and the Hammer from Springfield, Missouri. Hi, you two.
Hi. What's going on?
Not a heck of a lot in Canada. Everything's shut down and closed.
Same here. We just started at midnight last night in Greene County, Missouri. A complete shutdown except for essentials. Now, what they consider essential is a little interesting, but we were just discussing that the Hammer and I have been together 37 years. We are going to spend more time together than we ever have.
Yeah, isn't that odd?
You know, and how is that going to turn out? Well, this, of course, is our regular show, Dueling Dialogues, but we're going to be teasing a new show that's going to be coming up on our same platform called His and Hers.
Okay, good.
Where it's kind of his view and her view and our view, and you know, sometimes most of the time it's probably not going to be political. Right. So we're going to be adding a couple of shows to our platform. We're very pleased through the quarantines that our listeners are, our listenership, is that a word?
Listenership, I guess.
Is up.
It is now.
Only when I use it in Scrabble.
Yeah. Which is one of our quarantine activities.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later, but you know, one of the first things on a serious note I thought we might talk about is, the president mentioned this. He said, when the cure becomes as deadly as the cause, you know, we got to rethink shutting down the economy. And you go, well, what does he mean? How can the economy kill you? Well, there's a lot of ways it can kill you. You know, I can think of loneliness, suicide.
Right. Murder.
You know, murder. I mean, you're with somebody that you know, like I said, we've been together 37 years. You know, I don't think we're going to murder each other, but it's going to be different.
Right.
What about abusive families? You know,
dysfunctional.
Abuse their children. Yeah. Domestic abuse will probably skyrocket.
Yeah. Well, why aren't we hearing that though? Because we've been pretty much locked down here for a week and a half, or almost 2 weeks now. So I haven't been reading anything on you know, more crime happening or anything like that.
Well, crime is down, actually. But I am suspect, and of course, domestic abuse can go on a long time before the cops are called. And we know about it, but I understand what the president's saying, and I think it's worth exploring. You know, a lot of people will be so afraid to go out and get food, they'll start being malnourished.
Right.
There are people that have illnesses but are afraid to go to the doctor.
Right.
They could die. I mean, you could be having chest pains and go, I don't want to go get that virus.
Or you don't have a doctor available.
Good point. Yeah. Absolutely. So I see, and money worries, you know, are problematic. A lot of children eat at school, and a lot of poor people eat at like soup kitchens.
Right.
When you shut down everything like our county has, you're going to get some backlash.
Right.
And some of that backlash is going to be deadly.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of backlash here in Canada. Of course, all essential services are still running, which is grocery stores, drug stores, and liquor stores.
Thank God.
That is essential for some. Yeah. For you know, can you imagine if all the alcoholics stopped drinking and went through the DTs? It would be.
Oh God, there would be murder.
Yeah, exactly. So liquor is considered an essential service. Restaurants can only do takeout or deliveries, but they're allowed to sell booze via their platform. So
they're not here.
Yeah, I don't know.
You could buy a bottle, sealed bottle, at a restaurant if they wanted to sell it and if you wanted to pay that price.
Exactly.
But you could not buy a drink and bring it home. Now, some cities have passed laws so that they can sell by the drink.
Right.
Delivery or pickup, i.e. New York City.
Right.
They passed a temporary law so that you could buy, get your favorite drink delivered. Heck, it would be like melted and all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would be quite as good. And let me tell you, the drinks are pretty high in Manhattan. So I think you'd be better off just to make your own. But what do I know?
Yeah, exactly. So, everything's been shut down here for the last week and a half. Very similar thing happened in Canada that happened in the U.S. with the relief bill getting turned down. The Liberals were wanting way too much power. It was supposed to be a reduced session of Parliament to pass this bill, and it was supposed to be everybody just agreeing to it. But when the opposition saw what the Liberals had put in this bill, they said, not on your life, and they went through a 15-hour session before it was suspended. It was revised and passed on Wednesday, the next day.
Well, excellent. Ours is still has to go through Congress, but it looks like it's going to pass. There certainly was some attempted blackmail that went on by Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
She tried to pass the Green New Deal from within the coronavirus bill. What a crap thing to do.
And abortion, as far as I heard here in Canada.
Yeah.
So very similar thing the Liberals tried here, but they didn't get away with it. I'm glad that they went right back into session the next day and got it done, because there is a relief package out there being designed.
Right.
Lots of fake news. I read an article yesterday in the BBC in the UK saying that Trudeau's paying everybody $2,000 a month, and it's worth $87 billion, the relief package. Well, the relief package is in the 20s. It's a quarter of what the BBC is reporting, and nobody's getting $2,000 a month. So lots of fake news going on, but by established news outlets.
Right. Well, and the right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing. Now, and part of that is good. I don't know about in Canada, but because the United States is actually a federation of states, you got the president up here saying, I'd like to get some parts of the country back to, ordinary economic status by Easter. And then you got our county where they just shut everything down for 30 days.
Right.
Which is well beyond Easter.
Well, being quarantined only works if everybody's being quarantined. And I was pretty shocked on Sunday to turn on the TV and see a NASCAR race going on with 80,000 fans. That was
an old one. That wasn't a current one.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, yeah, I am. And then they have done a simulated one.
Okay.
That was on TV. You might have seen that, it was really where they took a film from a previous race and they did simulated. In fact, a couple of drivers were in it that aren't even driving anymore.
I see. Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah, NASCAR has been very good. But that does bring me back to, and I know the Hammer wants to talk about this, what is essential, what isn't essential? And I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about the silliness and the car business of what's essential and what's not.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll really like this, Connor.
All right.
At all dealerships, you can keep open your service department, your parts department, and your body shop because they're essential.
Okay.
You cannot keep any sales open. Now, you could come in and buy parts of cars. You can have part of your car worked on. We can even fix part of your car. But you can't buy all the parts put together in one spot.
It's like buying a box of Legos.
Yeah, you know,
instead of the toy for your child, just buy the Legos. That's all you can buy.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, heaven forbid you have a wreck and total your car and you need transportation. You can't go buy a car.
Can't buy the whole car.
You can't buy new, you can't buy used, you can't buy anything.
Wow.
I guess you can buy a little motor scooter.
Yeah, and you know, it's a crazy thing. You know, right down the street we have Lowe's, we have Home Depot. You can go work in your yard like we're doing. You can do this, you can do that, but by gosh,
you can't buy a car.
Can't buy a car.
No, you can't buy a car, you can't buy toilet paper, and I will tell you that they're limiting things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have the same thing going on in Canada.
You can buy 1 dozen eggs, 1 gallon of water.
Right.
You can buy, there's no toilet paper to buy, so there's no need to worry about that. But I forget what all, and they check your basket before you go, into checkout.
Right.
And another thing that's really crazy here, Greene County is shut down. Webster County and Lawrence County are not. You could drive 20 miles and buy a car.
Or whatever else you want.
Oh, wow. So it's county by county, not the entire state.
Yeah, the governor decided not to shut down the state.
Yeah, okay. Our governor decided not to shut down the state. Obviously, the president cannot, it's kind of dicey about whether he could make everybody go in quarantine. It really should go to the governors, okay?
Right.
For example, in New York City, you have de Blasio shutting things down. Of course, you have the mayor, the governor shutting down. Guess who shut us down? The health department.
Oh.
The head of the health department. Our mayor acted like he didn't even really know about it.
No.
He didn't know any details.
Holy! How could you not know any details?
Well,
Sleep under a rock or something? Wow.
Well, people do around here sometimes. But,
holy smoke.
Yeah, I mean, so when this order came out, for example, it took a few hours for the dealership to even know if they were, what was closed and what was open.
Right. Wow.
Daycares can open, but you can only take your child there if you're medical or a first responder.
Oh, I see.
And they cannot have more than 10 kids in a particular area.
As far as I know, here daycares and all schools are shut down.
All other schools are shut down, but because nurses and doctors need daycare, they had to make some sort of exception.
Right.
And it's not really a good time to have Granny take care of the kids because we got too many grannies dying from this. So
Exactly.
So, our life is different. It is surreal. None of us are young. This is something we have never seen before.
Exactly. I prefer to think of it as a free 30-day trial on socialism.
You know what? You've got a point there. Now, talking about our His and Her show,
right,
which is coming up. What do you do as a couple? I mean, we know what people with kids are doing. They're homeschooling their kids, they're keeping their kids active. But as a couple, what do you do? Okay, you really can't go to restaurants. We even have a lot of our restaurants are closing the delivery and pickup because they're not doing enough business. And now that the stimulus package is passed, their employees can get more benefit by staying home.
Right.
So, and also the food wastes and, if you have a fine restaurant, are you really going to go pay fine dining prices to sack that stuff up and bring it home?
Right.
I mean, there's some restaurants, it's simply ridiculous.
And here, all the grocery stores are hiring people because they can't keep up with deliveries. So
absolutely, that's going on here too. So, so what do you do? And if you're in quarantine, how close is too close to your partner, or do you worry about that?
I don't think not, because at some point in quarantine, you're going to be very close together, if you know what I mean.
I think that, I think that that defies quarantine.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a baby boom in 9 months.
I do too. I think there is. Just like after every snowstorm, every
right.
Where the electricity, every ice storm. If you live around here, it's usually ice storms that are our baby booms, create our baby booms. But I think that it is one of those moments where in a marriage or a relationship, it's kind of like the moment of truth.
Right.
But think about how it affects people. Because really, you can spend a great deal of your life, walking in and out of the door, going to work, doing your thing, and not being that interactive with your spouse.
Right.
What about these people that are having affairs?
Never thought of that one.
I mean, are they sneaking around the corner making phone calls?
They might be spreading more than coronavirus, too.
They can't leave their house.
Yeah. I'm sure right now the mental state of people has probably been the lowest or the worst ever.
Yeah, and the way we look at it is so different. Like, I'm all excited to have the hammer home. I mean, we got landscaping to do. We got floors to do. We've got, my gosh, I am just like beside myself. We were running to, get shrubs. Like I said, that might have been illegal. So don't anyone turn me into the police for getting shrubs for the hammer to put in the landscaping. But
so it sounds to me like the hammer's really enjoying this.
I can hardly stand it. I'm so happy. And it's really hard on the people like myself that are real creatures of habit.
Right.
I've been going to the same gym for 46 years at basically the same time of day. Right. Can't go.
You should hear these guys texting each other.
Yeah.
The guys that work out together, oh my gosh, how long is this going to last? I see the little text going. One guy this morning called the hammer and said, I drove to the parking lot. I'm like, are you kidding?
I mean, it's just things like that, you get into such a routine that it really throws people off. And as we were talking here at home, you are nervous about the change in your lifestyle. You've never experienced this before. Now, you might miss a day or two because you're sick or whatever, but you're going to go right back to it. When you're talking about 30 days, at least, it's hard to look in the future 30 days. A couple of days, okay, but 30 days, wow, that's a lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a long time, and think about it. It's not like these guys can sit home and watch sports unless they enjoy watching, Super Bowl from 1969.
The only good thing about this, I can pick the winner now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't have to worry about picking the wrong side because you remember, oh yeah, they came back and won that game, or oh God, they remember when they threw that game away? The bookies wouldn't like this at all.
Yeah.
There is no one that can be living their normal life right now.
Yeah, I have a friend that's a real sports nut, and he just posted the other day that, he's got nothing to watch, but in amongst trying to find something to watch, he said he found a girl on his couch, and apparently she's his fiance.
So he's got a new sport.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, Joe Buck, right? Is it Joe Buck? He was doing play-by-plays of his kid playing basketball in the living room. It was pretty cute. And then his wife, she was just like cleaning up the living room, and he was doing a play-by-play on that. And I thought that was pretty funny. But what are we going to start doing? Eating carbs?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, when you get bored, you know how you kind of start craving carbs?
Yeah, I did a junk food pig out last night, as a matter of fact.
How much weight is everyone going to gain?
And no going to the gym over 30 days. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't think the gyms will be open till the end of summer.
Well, if you're not staying out of public here and you're gathering in public, you can be fined, even jailed here right now. So,
same here, $10,000.
Yeah, $50,000 here.
Oh, wow. Yeah, wow. Trudeau, he likes to go for the gusto.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We know that about him, right?
But 50,000 Canadians worth, what, 10,000 there? So exactly. It kind of evens out.
Yeah, so, it's a staycation for me. It's a nightmare for the hammer. I mean, it's kind of like, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a second freaking honeymoon. And he's like, what?
Well,
the only thing good about this whole deal is hopefully it will work.
Yes.
And the good thing about it, from being in the business world for a long time, it always comes back with a vengeance. It will be better than it ever was. The economy will just be unbelievable, crazy for a long period of time.
This is a big difference in this recession, because this recession we created ourselves in an instant, pretty much. And there's an upside at the end. Everybody knows that these businesses are going to reopen and things will continue as normal. Now, some businesses are going to be doing way better than they were. Some are going to die.
That's right.
Exactly. It's going to weed out.
Right.
But a lot of people will stay home and make more money than they make because, for example, they raised unemployment to $600 a week across the board. Well, unemployment notoriously goes by where you live and the cost of living, kind of like Social Security or disability Social Security, I should say.
Right.
Okay, well, for example, people around here are used to getting about $300 a week, $300 to $350. They're going to get double that. That's going to be more than they make in a lot of instances. They're going to have a stimulus where each adult gets $1,200. Well, there are people around here, we've talked about on this show before how low the income of some of the people in this town is. There are a family of four living on $30,000 a year.
Right.
So they're making significantly more by staying home. Right. Some of them can get the stimulus and unemployment. And then some of the businesses are paying a sort of sick leave that they're going to be reimbursed by the government. So really, wow, this is new.
Right.
Where, you make this money by staying home. So people are going to have their money to spend. And that's going to be very good for the economy. And with the 0% interest and a lot of these loans they're doing, they're going to keep it 0% interest for a long time. Secretary Powell said they've got a lot more ammunition that they can pull out as an economic stimulus, and that's the Fed. The Fed does not always have to get approval by Congress and the Senate. So this is a really different, I should say, situation than economic downturns we've had in the past.
Yeah.
However, it's disrupting lives. For example, one of our sons is getting married this year. You guys have heard me say that.
Right.
Him and his fiance have waited 7 years. They both have disabilities, so it's been a long wait. They just had to cancel their wedding until next year because of coronavirus.
Right.
We already had another son getting married next year. So we now have 2 sons getting married next year.
That's going to be an expensive year.
That is going to be an interesting, expensive year, but, bless our children for they had a really good attitude, a lot better than I would have. People are making do.
Well, there's another aspect of this that with the economy that we have to look at as well. For instance, my son is the national manager for call centers for a cable company. Now,
Right.
there's thousands of employees that are working under him. Now, there's a couple of the divisions had already been moved to working from home.
Yes.
So he's working frantically right now, working weekends, working overtime, moving more people home.
Right.
So at first that's a big hit because I think the phones are like, I don't know, $1,800 that is required to tie into the system for somebody to work from home. And there's a bunch of,
high.
there's a bunch of other equipment and stuff like that. So the cost initially to move people home is huge. However, when you look at it in the long run, they don't need a call center with 300 computers and an IT guy and on and on and on that way, right? So in the long run, you're reducing your costs.
Yeah, because the future, if this happens again, or if we have a relapse of coronavirus, or if China decides to release something else on us, we'll be ready. It'll never be like this again. We will never be fighting for masks, and we will never again buy from China. If President Trump wins again, he will spend 4 years making sure that China does not produce our prescription medications and that we write China off.
Yeah,
there will be so many more things produced in the United States that haven't been for a long time. It's going to be mind-boggling.
Yeah, and I think the same thing is going to happen here. Like for instance, the GM factories that were shut down last year here in Canada, they're now going to be retooling to put out respirators.
Yeah.
Exactly. And let's hope they can do that really fast, because these hospitals, these doctors, they need respirators, they need masks, they need gowns.
Yes, and that reminds me, we have a local mill here on the island. Harmac is the name of the mill. They produce very, very, very high quality paper that is used in the hazmat suits and the masks and other medical equipment. So they've just gone into double production.
Bless them.
It's just like, I hate to quote him, but it was a good quote, but Mark Cuban said that this is going to be the highest point of capitalism after this is over, because the American people and Canada and the free enterprise system, you show them a way to make a buck, and they will go after it tooth and nail.
Right.
And they will. This is going to change everything. And as far as buying American or American made, this is going to make people rally around the flag, so to speak, about buying American products, because we saw what could happen if we depend on foreign governments and foreign intervention and foreign productivity. At a moment's notice, we can be out in the cold, because they're going to take care of their own first.
As we would.
That's true.
But we need to be prepared to be self-sustaining, and you'll notice that not too many people are screaming and yelling like 3 years ago about Trump being a nationalist.
Right.
That argument's kind of went in the two. And I do want to say his approval rating right now is 60%. So eat your heart out, Nancy Pelosi.
I thought I read that Biden was now leading him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where was that poll taken?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they ask all that they had to ask all the House of Representatives, Democratic side for that poll to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nancy, I think we talked about this a while ago. How they tried to sneak stuff in the stimulus package.
Right.
That's dirty pool. And even Obama and Biden both called Nancy out on that. You don't use a disaster to instigate a communist agenda or any other agenda for that matter. So trying to put the Green New Deal in the coronavirus bill was BS, even to people in her party.
That was pretty disgusting.
And apparently they tried to do that in Canada too.
Yeah, slightly different, but they at least the opposition leaders that were there, I think there was only 30-some parliamentary members there, because they were reducing the numbers, and they didn't pass it. They did not let it go through for those simple reasons, right?
Right.
Yeah, but one thing that has been happening, and I do have to mention this, is our truckers right now are what's keeping us alive.
Absolutely, you're exactly right.
And a problem that has happened here with the restaurants being closed is they've got nowhere to eat. And a lot of restaurants have the drive-through open, but they don't serve walk-ups. And of course, you can't fit a semi-truck down the drive-through route. So for restaurant owners, for restaurant people working out there, make an exception. If the person is a trucker, for God's sake, please serve him. He's keeping us alive.
McDonald's said that they would run it out to the curb for them.
Perfect.
I do know that, and so I'm hoping that other places follow suit. It seemed like Chick-fil-A also said they would do that. So, absolutely. Something else I want to say or to bring up, just how careful is too careful? I know yesterday you and I were talking, and you went to the grocery store, and you were wiping your stuff off.
Right.
I have to say that the Hammer and I have been lazy. We don't wipe our stuff off when we bring it back. Maybe we should be. I mean, I really get the hand sanitizer out when we leave the store, and
if you can find the antiseptic wipes nowadays, that's another one that is disappeared from shelves.
Well, I had some already, so I actually had quite a bit. I don't know why, of hand sanitizer and wipes. So, a lot of people say they're coming home, they're undressing in the garage and running up to wash their clothes. I don't know. I certainly would not accuse anyone of being too careful, especially if you are immunocompromised.
Right.
I think you got to just do what you're comfortable with.
Which we are here, and
exactly.
Yesterday, shower right away after we went out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what a strange world we live in.
Yeah. And we have to be careful. We have to be safe, and we try to be happy.
I just want everyone I hope everyone recovers from all these bruises from these broom handles, from everybody making sure they're 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
When they're punching you with those, say, hey, keep your distance, everybody.
Well, they say if you can smell their farts, you're not far enough apart.
I believe that.
Gosh, that would smell my dogs.
But,
my dogs go
I don't know. There's some of my guys that I work with.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
8 to 10 footers. At
least. That with my friends, it could range from 3 feet to 30 feet with some people. Yeah. So not a good measurement. Ukrainians say 8 lengths of Kubasov.
Yeah. True.
But keep busy. Travel. Get out those board games. Do a little dancing, a little yoga.
Yes,
Walk.
for sure.
We are allowed. Are you all allowed to go out and walk?
Yeah, as long as you keep your distance.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, they haven't been charging people, but officially parks are closed.
Yeah.
Like the government-run parks. So, less places to walk? I don't know. We're just, other than walking the dog around the block, I mean, I don't see anybody when I walk the dog, really, or don't pass them. But if I was going to pass them, I'd probably give them 6 feet of space.
Yeah, we do that. We walk. We've been walking. We'll probably start walking today, twice a day.
Yeah.
We've been walking at least once a day. And when we see somebody, we distance ourselves.
Right.
And we sometimes do that anyway because we have the Oliver with us, and he likes to
jump up.
on.
Yeah, exactly.
And so just give people their space. If you do go into grocery shop, don't make someone else feel uncomfortable.
Right.
Just keep your distance. Or do what I do. If I have to pass them, I just hold my breath. They get past.
Good one.
I don't know why. I just instantaneously do that, as if it's going to protect me, but.
Yeah, that's funny. It's some weird times out of all of this for sure. We've never seen anything like this.
Well, and our grandchildren will talk about this long after we're dead.
Yeah, the great toilet paper shortage of 2020.
Exactly.
Gotta agree, it's crazy.
Yes, and we don't always agree about it. Life's a journey, and we know that this coronavirus is probably one of our biggest journeys yet. So it's very challenging. So Godspeed. Thanks for listening, and be safe.
Godspeed, you too, and everyone. Thanks for listening.
You bet. Everybody out there, take care.